now, sitting here, have to ask God for mercy before even stating what we've done.
All right.
We have to understand that before we come to anything and ask the Lord for anything, we got to come and say, Lord, have mercy on me. Because the day I'm walking, and I don't deserve to be walking, the day I'm talking when my tongue should have been cut out of my mouth, have mercy on me. We serve the kind of God that wherever time you get in trouble, He'll deliver you out of the hands of the fowler. That's the kind of God we serve. We serve the kind of God who sent His only begotten Son to die up on Calvary's cross. That's the kind of God we serve. I wish I had those kind of folk in here that would begin to pray with me as we begin to go higher in the Lord. I found myself many times realizing that David was a man and he was of flesh. Even though he was the apple of God's eye, he was still a man. And I found out these two things. He was a praiser and he was a beggar. But he wasn't the type of beggar that would ask you for your money. But he was the type of beggar that would ask God, even though I've messed up, to forgive me. He was the type of man that would sacrifice all he had just to praise the name of the Lord Jesus. And I come to realize that one of these old days, it won't be very long. But we're going to be looking for the Lord in the wrong place. And He ain't going to be able to hear you cry no more. Because we done messed up too much. And God's going to come back and crack the sky and you're going to be wondering what if. But I come to let you know that even though you mess up in this season, God is calling for true worshipers in this place. Let's go and have some church, brother organist. But I want to let you know that even in the midst of your sin, if you would just call on the name of the Lord, He'll work it out for you. I'm a firm believer, and I'm crazy enough to believe that whatever you ask the Lord, if you believe it by faith, when you get home, it'll be waiting for you. I'm crazy enough to believe that they took my law and they took your God and they marched them from judgment hall to judgment hall just for you and I, that we may have the key to the tree of life. I come to find out that not only did they march him from judgment hall to judgment hall, but they took my law and they put the crown of 72 thorns on his head for you and I. I know they did, but I also come to find out that even when they did that for you and I, he never said a mumbling word. Some of us need to just shut up and stop praying and let the Lord have his way. But when they took him and put the crown of 72 thorns on his head, the blood came streaming down. But I come to find out that when the blood came streaming down, it let the puddle of blood all the way around. And the folk, if they had true faith, as soon as they stepped in the blood, as soon as they stepped in the blood, they would have got healed and delivered. Some of us need to get healed and delivered, but they put them up on that old rugged cross. And I come to find out this one thing, Apostle Nesbitt, that even when they put him up on that old rugged cross, as much power as he had to take himself off of it. He said, if this be your will, then let it happen. You and I would have never went to that cross. I would have told the Lord a long time ago, forget these folk right here. They not worthy. They not worthy of man. They not worthy of me dying for them. But I come to let you know that they took him on that cross. And when they put him up on the cross between two thieves, one said, remember me. Some of us need to ask the Lord right now to remember me, because we done caused so much hell. I don't think you're going to make it there. I come to find out I done put my wife and my family through so much hell. I may not have made it there if it had not been for the blood. Is there anybody in here that come to serve the Lord? I come to serve notice of the enemy. But when I put him on that old rugged cross for you and I, he died and hung his head to the locks of his shoulders and ascended from this earth into glory. I come to find out that they took him off that old cross and he stayed there and put him in Joseph Bar tomb. He stayed there all day Friday. He stayed there all Friday night. He stayed there all day Saturday. He stayed there all Saturday night. But you know what? Early Sunday morning, he got up with all power between heaven and earth. I come to serve notice. God died so that you can make it. Is there anybody in here that knows that you can redeem by the blood of the Lord? I looked in the mirror and I come to realize that I got to take off this old flesh and put on the new armor of God. I got to hold up